What's up, everybody? Got me. So I'm at the bar last night. Me and some of the homies, we smoking and everything. And a female comes up and she like, "Oh, I like the smell of your cigar." I'm like, okay. It's like, "Yeah, I appreciate cigars. I was in the military for 10 years. Every once in a while I like to smoke a good cigar." It's like I just don't know where to go. There's one place I went to that was kind of shady, and they when you walked in they looked at you funny and blah blah blah. So I gave her a couple tips. If you're in Pittsburgh, you're a female, you definitely want to go to Sassy Ash. It's ran by a lady. The selection is not a huge selection. The selection is geared more toward her core audience, but I mean it's still a chill place to chill out at. Uh, they got bottle service. I mean they got bottle fees, which I don't normally like, but she's so cool I fuck with it. Just $5 for the bottle fee, or you go to Smokers Friendly, the one I go to on Rhode Island Road. Um, no bottle fee. A bunch of cool dudes in the lounge, and you can chill out there. But I'm gonna tell you how to spot a good lounge. All right, so when you go into the lounge, you want to treat it like a high school, right? When you go into the lounge and you're standing at the door and you're looking at the lounge, you want to see how the people are interacting, all right? If you got a group of people here and they're only here, and a group here and they're only here, and here and they're only here, that's a clique environment. I personally don't really like clique environments. I like everybody to communicate and talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't just like this section talking to this section and this. I don't like that. It's more enjoyable if everybody is fucking with everybody. When I walk in and I see a guy here talking to a guy right here talking to a guy over there, or I see a guy over there talking to a guy right here, and I see everybody interacting and exchanging and chiming in. That's the bar. That's the place I want to be at, because that's a cool place. That's got a bunch of cool people, and you're gonna meet a bunch of cool people. And you're gonna have some cool conversations. That's all this. This is what all this is about. It's relaxing, conversations, talking shit. The cigar shop is the new barber shop. That's all it is. Now, if you never smoked a cigar and you find yourself in a cigar place, it's two things you can do. One, you can ask the guy behind the counter, because he normally knows a lot about cigars. So you definitely want to go to him and let him, you know, suggest a cigar for you based off your palate. Or two, if you know somebody smokes cigars, you can have them, if they know you good enough, you can have them suggest something, that you might like. You know, those two options always work. Now, another thing, when you go to a cigar lounge, again, if you know somebody smoke, go to their lounge with them. Because if you go to the lounge with somebody who's already established in the lounge, they already plugged. When you walk in, people gonna treat you like you've been there forever. They're gonna treat you like you part of the crew, because that's their man and you're his man's and them, and you're in the trance. So you're just brought in. I've walked people in the cigar shops a lot of times, and the conversation just flew. It was so fluid. I had people walk me in the cigar shop, say what up and everything. Hey, this is my man's. He from blah blah blah, and the conversation, was fluid. So that's another very important thing. Um, if you know somebody, go to their shop. You don't. If you go to their shop, you don't get all that awkward filling out stage. Now, ladies, again, like I said, the cigar shop is a new barber shop. So when you walk in there, you might get dead silence. And the reason why you're getting dead silence, because we talking about stuff we don't think that you necessarily can handle or want to deal with. Now, if you come in for a couple of times, if this ain't the click type of cigar lounge, if this is how I told you with the flow and conversation, you walk in a couple of times, then we'll be comfortable to talk about certain things in front of you. But we need to know that you're cool. We don't want to. When you go in a cigar shop, it's not about offending. Nobody wants to offend anybody. All right, it's about everybody chilling, smoking, having a good time. So that's what we do. We want to see where you at with it. Because me and my boys say some outlandish shit. So we want to make sure that you would be okay with some of the stuff that we're going to say before we say it. So that's very important. So, and then you also need to realize, again, in a cigar shop, I know it's a predominantly male world. It's a male culture. So you're going to hear some things. So if you're one of the females that don't like cursing, then you definitely don't want to go in a cigar shop. You don't, all right? Because there's going to be some curse. There's going to be some loud conversations. Sports, everything. Everything is on the table. If you go to a black cigar lounge. If you go to a cigar lounge where it's mostly black people and a couple of them cool ass white boys, everything is on the table. There is no limit. There is no rules. You're gonna hear it. Trust me. You're gonna hear it. So you need to be ready to hear some of the shit that you're gonna hear. All right. Another thing, and this again, these are how I'm telling you how to do this is how I judge cigar lounges. I don't like small spaces because it's gonna get loud in there. If it's a small area, it's gonna echo, it's gonna boom, it's gonna be too loud. You're not gonna really enjoy the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Now in the summer, I don't care how big the lounge is because I'm either smoking outside on their patio, or I'm at the homie's house, or I'm at a park, or we doing something. So that don't matter to me. But in the winter, I don't like that little confined space because the sound carries and it's boom, boom, boom. You know, it gets too loud. You know, but again, you're at a cigar shop, so you can expect it to get loud. That's what it's gonna do. So another thing, all right. When you walk in there, I'm gonna give you some rules. When you walk into the humidor, and it's veterans that do this too, do not smoke in the humidor. I mean, you got some cigars that don't have cellophane wrappers, and that smoke is gonna get into them and it's gonna ruin the taste of it. Don't smoke in the humidor. Don't smoke in it. Hell, I don't even bring my cigars in the humidor. I set my cigars right there at the counter. Hey, I'm finna go in here, watch these for me, and then I go into the humidor. Do not smoke in the humidor. Alright, number one. Number two, some places do this. Now, some places, I can't say all places, some places let you smoke cigarettes in the cigar lounge, as long as you buy a cigar. However, my pet peeve is seeing cigarette butts in a cigar ashtray. Is it that right there? That right there? I better not see one cigarette butt in there, or you picking it out with your anus. I hate that. That's fucking annoying. Because when you burn your cigar and then it hits the the tip of, I don't know what the fuck is that. What's the tip of a cigar? Cigarette made out of felt. Fuck is it velvet? Cotton, whatever the fuck that part is. It smells horrible. I hate that. It messes up the aroma of the room. All right. I hate that shit. Number two, when you go in there, the best way to make friends, if you have a bottle, hey man, you want some? Hey, you want some? You want some? You know what I'm saying? That's being respectable, hospitable. You know what I'm saying? Because when I go in the cigar lounge, a lot of times, if I have something and I'm like, hey, you want something? They say no. They might have something, but hey, do you want something? You know, in exchange, say thanks for offering me. You know, here they might get you a cigar, so you might get something out of it. But not just that, you create a friend. You know, rule of thumb when you go to most cigar lounges. How we do it in non-cigar lounge. In most cigar lounges I've been to, Smokers Friendly, Leonard Town, what's that? Jernigan's, Blooms, Dan Cigar Lounge, and I'm just naming it from everywhere, man. These are everywhere. Ralph Cigar. Rule of thumb normally when walking to a cigar lounge is that once you start a conversation, the ambassador. Every cigar lounge has this guy, the ambassador to the cigar lounge. Normally, if you're talking to him, he'll try to, he gonna gauge what you're smoking. Now he gonna give you some suggestions based off what you're smoking. Like, hey, you might want to try this. Now, rule of thumb, most times they buy you that cigar. Like, here, I'm gonna get this for you. Well, here I got something you need to try, and they get that for you. That's when you know when that happens. Now, don't always look for it, but when it does happen, you know you're in a good cigar lounge with good people. All right. And lastly, most importantly, and once you found your cigar lounge, your brick and mortar, yeah, you always want to go there. But it's also important to go to other cigar lounges. You know, you don't just buy one car and that's your car for the rest of your life. Sometimes, but what I'm saying is, you go to other cigar lounges, man. See how they roll. And other cigar lounges might have selections that your cigar lounge don't have. Like, it's certain cigars that I want, I can't get in PA. I can go back home. I can get them in Chicago. I'll go down to Maryland and get them in Maryland. But there's certain cigars I like that just aren't here yet. You know, that's how it is. Even in my area, like I might go to Penn Hills, and they have something in Penn Hills that they don't have in Latrobe, or they might have something in Irwin that they don't have in Squirrel Hill. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. It goes by geography. Certain places are gonna have certain cigars because their core crowd caters to that. Unless it's Blooms. Blooms got every fucking thing. I don't even know how they keep all them cigars in the fucking humidor, the walk-in humidor. Like, those are a couple tips, man. I hope y'all paid attention. If you're a newbie, I hope you go out and listen to these tips. I'm telling you, it's gonna make you going to a lounge a lot more enjoyable. Because when I first went, I was a little intimidated. But once you get comfortable, it don't matter if you get comfortable in your lounge or somebody else's. Once you get comfortable in your lounge, you can go to any other lounge. Follow the rules that you follow for your lounge, for the most part, the core rules. And you'll be good in any lounge you go to. I'm telling you, in any city. I mean, I done been to cigar lounges in Buffalo, back home in Chicago, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, D.C., Waldorf, Richmond, name a place. Vegas, name a place. You know, so Toronto. You know, I mean, you just name a place. You know, and it doesn't matter if you keep those core rules. You can travel from cigar shop to cigar shop to cigar shop, and you'll be cool. So keep those rules. Remember, blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman. We out.